Hello, everybody. Andy Jacob here with the .com Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series. What a show today. You know, everybody that watches the show, you know we love entrepreneurs that are doing great things. And of course, everybody that watches the show, you know that we love sports. I mean, we love what's going on in the sport field. We love sports nutrition. We love sports beverages. And of course, there's so many things that are out there in the sports space that are starting to resonate with so many clients. And we've been able to find an incredible entrepreneur today. His name is Mr. Joey Firestone. He, of course, is the CEO and founder of Elite Beverage International. And when we came across his product called B.Y.L.T, we just knew we had to have him on the show. I mean, this product that they put together, this advanced electrolyte sport drink that has a real interesting SmartCarb technology that we're going to get into, is really starting to gain the attention of so many athletes throughout the country, and it's soon to be worldwide. I mean, it's awesome. We're happy to have him on the show now before we won't be able to book him down the road. His name is Joey Firestone. As I mentioned, Joey, welcome to the .com Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series today.
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you. I mean, I'm sitting here. I've got my B.Y.L.T sport drink right here next to me. I mean, I've tried it. This is the watermelon taste. I mean, it's the watermelon, flavor. Amazing. Love it. No aftertaste. I mean, it's perfect. But before we get started, I'm really excited about the drink. Let's pull the lens back to 30,000 feet. Tell us about Elite. Tell us about this flagship product called B.Y.L.T, and then we'll get into it.
Sure. So B.Y.L.T, for people that don't know, is a revolutionary sports drink. It's a patented carbohydrate called palatinose with aminos, and that's called SmartCarb technology. And that's really the main ingredients of the sports drink. The difference between this sports drink and other drinks is there's no refined sugar, there's no caffeine, so you don't get a burst of energy and then a crash. You get a more sustained release of energy over time that allows you to perform better at whatever you're doing in the gym, outside playing golf, any kind of sport. You don't have to be a professional athlete to drink this. This is made for anybody.
Yeah, I love it, of course. I mean, you don't need to be out in a triathlon or doing a biathlon or running 26 miles or 10 miles. I mean, just in the everyday functionality of one's life, you need to stay hydrated. And the thing that really we love about it, Joey, of course, is, it's going to hydrate athletes and, it's going to do that much faster and increase their endurance and improve recovery and performance. But it's also for someone that just needs to hydrate during the day, which is everybody, especially entrepreneurs. You're sitting at your desk, you want to stay hydrated because that hydration helps your body. And when your body's helped, your brain functions better. I mean, it's a complete package. So I love it so much. The one thing that caught our attention is when you go to the other drinks and you look at the labels. I mean, there's so much straight sugar in these products. Yours is different. Let's talk about that because that really caught our attention.
Yeah, so most sports drinks out in the market have refined sugar, high fructose corn syrup, usually very cheap, unhealthy sugars. What we did, we don't use any artificial colors, don't use any artificial flavors, but we used a carbohydrate called palatinose. This comes from a sugar beet. A sugar beet's completely natural, and the bond between fructose and glucose in the sugar beet is stronger, so it takes longer to break down, so you get more extended energy over time. And then we started playing with this and combining it with different ingredients, creatine, aminos, and then we found that when you combine these together, it increases athletic performance, it increases recovery, you hydrate faster. And then we added a couple more ingredients in the drink, like antioxidant blend to give you a natural nitric oxide boost. So you're increasing blood flow to help you get these nutrients and aminos throughout your body to recover faster. And then with the electrolytes, it's a perfect combination. You're basically getting 6 products in one with this drink.
It's incredible. 6 products in one. Of course, we're going to put some photos up on the screen. I've got mine here. Of course, it's already opened. And one thing that I love about what you've done here is the taste. I mean, this is the watermelon. I mean, it's like having a beautiful watermelon drink. How important is the taste to the full B.Y.L.T flagship, drink protocol that you've put together, Joey?
Taste is really important. It's something we've been working on. We're always trying to improve the taste and flavors. The first time we ran the product, we started with 2 flavors, lemon lime and tropical punch. And to be honest, the flavor wasn't where I wanted it to be for mainstream. It's great for like hardcore gym goers because they're used to taking pre-workouts and amino drinks that don't taste that great, but they're taking it for the benefits. But for when you go mainstream, you want to hit the soccer moms, you want to hit the weekend warriors, the CrossFitters. You want stuff that tastes good, that you can pour this over ice when you're out playing golf and have a cool, refreshing drink, or you want to mix it with some alcohol on the weekend and have a happy hydration, beverage. That's something that tastes good. So taste is really important. I'm always trying to come up with new flavors, new innovations to make constant improvements each time we do a production run.
Yeah, I love it, Joey. Of course, I'm going to show this. They probably can't see it on screen, but the one thing on the back of the label, all of this is 80 calories. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, was that an important consideration when you put the drink together?
Yeah, calories is also important because we obviously don't want to overload people with excessive calories. But when you work out and you're doing activities, we found that was the perfect amount of calories that you need for energy, for replenishing whatever you're doing. It doesn't have to be intense training. Like if you're intense doing triathlons, you obviously need more. But if you're just out playing golf or just playing tennis, that's perfect amount of calories and carbohydrates to give you energy over time. It helps you perform better and it gives you extended energy and then also hydrates you.
Yeah, 80 calories is a nothing burger. It's just like drinking water with a few calories and you get all the benefits, this 6-in-1 benefit that you mentioned. I love it so much. Let's talk about it because it's scientifically formulated. It's athlete approved. Let's talk about sort of the scientific formulation. How long did it take you and the scientific team to sort of come up with something that was ready for market?
I would say probably 2.5, maybe 3 years. We had this in a powdered product before in 2015, but it wasn't as advanced formula. Then we started introducing the Palatinose and we found out that we could get a patent on it. And we acquired the patent just last year, actually. So that was a big step for us to get that so no one can copy and duplicate it. So the science behind it is really the Palatinose and the aminos. That's the key foundation. And then the Spectra, which is the 29 fruits and vegetable extracts that you're not going to find in other sports drinks. And those are the antioxidants that help boost nitric oxide and increase blood flow and fight free radicals. And then you have another ingredient called Hydromax, which is basically a vegetable glycerin that hyperhydrates you. It takes the water at a cellular level and pushes it in the cells to give you all the electrolytes and aminos all in one. So it's actually hyperhydrating you. And then you have the electrolyte blend, which of course, sodium, magnesium, calcium, et cetera, potassium, because you need that. When you're sweating, you're losing sodium. So it's most sports drink that have high potassium, no sodium, it doesn't make sense because you need sodium to replenish what you're losing in sweat.
Wow, I love it so much. Let's talk about the market. Let's talk about the sports drink market. Obviously, based on all the good things that you're putting in this bottle, I mean, it's already happening where, athletes are using it. They're loving it. Of course, you've got triathletes using it and people that are doing walkathons and runathons and weightlifters and, a lot of people that are doing HIIT training and, Pilates and yoga, everybody's using it. When we start thinking about, getting into the professional sports, let's talk about that. What's that market look like from your standpoint as an entrepreneur to break into, where I'm seeing, buckets of course, B.I.L.T being poured over, coaches' heads after a big win?
Yeah, it's no secret that Gatorade dominates the sports marketing area. They have a massive budget and they do massive volume in sales. They're a $5 billion brand. So we're going up against a monster. But the Gatorade formula hasn't changed in 40 years. It's the same formula. It's sugars and artificial colors and a little sodium and electrolytes. But if you look at the sideline of these athletes that on TV, they're not drinking Gatorade. They might have the coolers and the branding, but they're putting their own stuff in their own drinks. And there's a lot of them reaching out and they're ordering B.I.L.T, asking their agents to get us in touch with me to get them B.I.L.T, and they're seeing the benefits from B.I.L.T. So it's just a matter of timing before we penetrate that market. We might not be able to get pour rights on the field because Gatorade dominates the NFL and all these regions, but the athletes in the locker rooms might be drinking this and you might not even know it. But I'm sure you'll see it around where people are posting it, talking about it. I think it's going to catch on more because we've had a lot more interest lately in the last couple of months.
Yeah, it's catching on fire, of course. And like you said, these athletes, especially the pro athletes, of course, this can be used for like you mentioned, by a soccer mom, by a guy like me that's older than dirt, and I just want to stay hydrated during the day and feel good and have that body, spirit, mind connection work because I'm staying hydrated. But for the professional athletes, they've got so much on the line. I mean, multi-million-dollar contracts, they're all about keeping their body together, whether it's during practice or on the sidelines during a big game. And of course, they're looking for the best opportunity. They're looking for things that will hydrate them. They're looking for things that will help them with their endurance and fat oxidation as well. And there's a lot of antioxidants in your drink too. So they're potentially drinking it on the sideline or in the locker room, but we don't know it because we don't see the big, built, branded, logos yet, but we're going to see that soon, I'm sure, because everybody's talking about it. Joey, let's talk about what happens in a business as you take it from formulation to getting it into people's hands to now this latest iteration. As you started building the business and started coming up with the formulation with your scientists and everybody else that you use to come up with this great formulation, did it change? In other words, did people say to you along the way, hey, Joey, we like it, but we need this, or maybe the taste needs to change a little bit? Did you listen to your clients along the way to get to the current formulation?
Yeah, that's an important thing when developing a new product too, is to get feedback and constantly keep putting that feedback to the team and explaining what we need to improve on, what customers like. I would take samples when I first made it in the kitchen and bring it to my gym and let 10, 20 people try it. And they would give me feedback on how they trained, how they felt. Then when I got into a real food science lab, I would make real samples, bring it to people in the gym and say, oh, I like this flavor. I didn't like this. This had a taste. I didn't. Because this drink has a lot of aminos, which is very hard to mask the flavors. There's a lot of earthy herbs, fruits, and vegetables that aren't really the best tasting. And it's not necessarily sweet to make a fruit punch flavor like broccoli or Brussels sprout. But all those ingredients, we had to look for different flavors to mask them and come up with stuff that was palatable. And not only that people enjoy drinking. So it's a little challenging. It takes a while. I would say for each time you do a flavor, you probably have to run a couple months of just trials before you actually get out there, maybe 6 months to a year before you actually take it to market, just to test it back and forth and to see what actually works and what people like and get the feedback too. And that's the same thing with labels too. Like I probably went through 10 different versions of labels to be comfortable with the packaging. It's a lot more than just like pouring some things together and sending it to a manufacturer and saying, oh, bottle this up for me. I need, 500,000 units. And then we put it on the shelf. It takes time. It's a lot more tedious and it's a lot longer than what you think it's going to take.
Yeah. And of course you have the patent, which is remarkable. Of course, people that watch the show know that when we interview a CEO of a product, I like to test the products. I went online. I ordered, of course, the watermelon pack. I wanted to see how fast it would arrive, what the packaging looked like, how it arrived. And man, it arrived beautifully and it arrived very, very quickly. I took a few bottles, put it right in the refrigerator. And of course, it's remarkable. Now, you also have some other flavors. I have watermelon, but you have blue raspberry and fruit punch and, grape. What's the biggest seller? I mean, you have lemon, lime, you have orange. What's the biggest seller right now? What are people resonating toward?
So right now it's different in each state. So in California and Texas, watermelon and orange is big in California. Texas watermelon is still a big hit. In Florida, it's blue ras and you have lemon lime in the gym. So it's different in each region. But those seem to be the top sellers. Grape used to be my other top seller before, but then I just launched blue ras, orange, and watermelon this year. So those two kind of took the lead now.
Yes, Joey, that's super interesting because a lot of entrepreneurs that are putting products out, they might not realize it when they're formulating and putting the product out, but sometimes there's a taste palette in different parts of the country. How long did it take you to sort of understand that, or did you know that going in based on your background, Joey, in the business?
No, it's really, I knew that there was different taste palettes in different regions, being in the supplement space before, but we really did a trial first in 2018. We launched with 2 flavors, lemon, lime, and tropical punch. We tested out the markets in California because they are more susceptible to take healthy drinks first. And if you can be successful in California, the market, you can duplicate what works there in other states. So we tried 2 flavors there. We got the feedback in. Then we launched fruit punch and grape after, what took another 8 months to a year after that. And then we had those 4 flavors and then tested the market further in Texas and then Florida. And then now this year we came out with the 3 other ones. We have 7 altogether.
Yeah, it's great. And of course, you go to the store and you look at some just regular old water. Maybe it's pH balance. They have that as well. Or maybe it has a certain pH level. Some waters have that. Mm-hmm. You go and buy a bottle of water. It could be $4 or $5. I mean, by the time you get done with spending the money on just plain old water, I mean, your price point is so reasonable. You think that people would be buying B.I.L.T before they even buy this specialized water right now, right?
Yeah, we try to be sensible with the pricing. So we leave enough margins for the retailers to make money, the distributors to make money. So we're not being greedy going out there and asking for 70% margins right out the gate. Everyone's got to make a little cut so it can be priced to $2.50 a bottle to $3. Sometimes in the gyms, they sell it for $3 to $3.50. It's all about convenience. And then once people try it, I think they realize the difference they feel and they go back and make the second purchase.
Yeah, that's great. And the online reviews are remarkable. How important is it, Joey, for you with the brand, to start getting some endorsements from professional athletes? Is that important to you, or is it equally important to get an endorsement from, like you said, a soccer mom or an old guy like me that just goes online and says, hey, I love B.I.L.T. I love what it's doing to me?
No, I think your brand is your reputation. So you got to take into account every review, even if it's just a customer that's ordered one case, or there's a $55 million contract NFL player that, gives you feedback. So you want to hear everyone's point of view and take that into consideration when you're doing whatever you want to do, making new products, new flavors. But endorsements is something we're looking at now, especially for 2023 launching. We're actually speaking to a couple big name athletes that have an interest in coming on board. We're doing a big partnership with a distributor out in Florida now. So they're interested for some big chains. So I think it's going to explode pretty fast in 2023. So we're just putting all the things together now with the athletes and seeing who wants to come on board. Because a lot of these people are familiar. There was a very big success story with Body Armor where Kobe Bryant invested in the company. They brought on their key athletes. And in a matter of time, I think 8 years, Kobe's $6 million investment turned to $400 million. And the athletes all cashed out big when they sold the Coke for $5.8 billion, I think it was.
Yeah, so it's a great story. And I'm sure we'll hear a story like that down the line. It's really interesting, Joey, because, back when I was younger, you would have some athletes endorsing products, but you would always wonder whether they were really endorsing it because they loved the product or endorsing it for the money. Right. But in today's day and age, with technology, with social, with the dollar volume of the contracts, there's no athlete that's going to endorse a product unless they absolutely love it, absolutely use it, and really want to put their name behind it. Is that what you're seeing right now?
Right. That's the first thing I tell when I talk to an athlete or agent. I'm like, I'm not going to talk about what you want or contract. I want you to try the drink first, and then you tell me if you like it. And then you come back and say, hey, I really like this drink. I want to work with you guys. But I don't want to ever have an athlete say, I'm just going to take a check or take stock in the company and promote your drink, even though I don't like it. I want you to like it and love it because I love the drink. I breathe and eat B.I.L.T. And the athlete should too. If they feel the results that I have and all the people I know that take B.I.L.T., they're going to want to have this in their regimen.
Yeah, Joey, it's interesting. And some of the sports drinks that are out there, they add caffeine, and it kind of, that's one of the things that they say that they do. But in your case, you don't need the caffeine. You don't add caffeine to your products. Let's talk about that.
Right. I really am not understanding why people kept caffeine in sports drink, because that's really an energy drink. A sports drink should be really rehydrating you, helping you repair, helping you recover. Caffeine actually dehydrates you. So you're actually counterbalancing what you're doing with caffeine in the drink. So I don't want to have any caffeine in B.I.L.T. People actually ask me all the time, is there caffeine in this? And I said, no, this is not an energy drink. So I understand where the energy category is, but we're in a different category for hydration, recovery, repair. And you don't want to put caffeine in a sports drink it defeats the whole purpose of that.
Yeah, that's the first thing you learn. It's sort of 101. I mean, if you're working out, you're sweating, or you want to hydrate, you don't take caffeine because caffeine dehydrates you. Right. So why are they putting it in the, in their drinks? And it just is sort of an oxymoron, if you will. So in your particular case, you're all about doing good. I mean, not only in your personal life, but of course in the bodies of the people that drink the B.I.L.T, and of course with your company as well. How important is it from your perspective in your career, Joey, to give back? In other words, what does it look like from B.I.L.T's perspective as you continue to grow, to give back to the community and make sure that you're making the world a better place as well?
Yeah, I think it's really important as you grow to always give back, because you always remember the people that help you get started too. We participate in a lot of charities with kids. We donated tons of drinks to the soccer camps, especially in the local areas. A lot of NFL children camps we're involved with. We like to always give back, because those are the kids that go back and tell their moms and dads, hey, I tried this drink, I really liked it. And we always get good feedback from that too.
Yeah, it's great. And of course, you're a pretty big guy. I mean, you've got some strength behind you. I mean, I know that you work out a lot yourself. You're into strength training and into fitness. When you're out there at the gym, you're working out, you're carrying, of course, your B.I.L.T with you. How important is it for people to come up and say, hey, what's that drink? And then you can start talking to them, sort of be the front line, sort of what I call Mickey Mouse marketing. Learn from the clients who are at the gyms about what they want, and maybe, giving them a taste, with something that's in your car or something like that as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I do that a lot. And when I go to the gym, I carry 3 or 4 B.I.L.Ts with me, because I'm always giving them out to people too. I'm always wanting to ask people to try them, especially if they've never seen it. But I do get that a lot in the gym when they see the drinks, or they'll come to me and my friends that are drinking it, like, hey, what's this drink? What's it about? And then I ask them, have you ever tried Gatorade? Well, this is a healthy Gatorade. This is what a sports drink should be. And they're like, oh, okay. And then I explain what it does. And I have a little inside joke at the gym where I said, oh, if you drink a B.I.L.T, you'll be 15% stronger. And psychologically, they come back a week later and be like, I don't know what's in this drink, but I'm stronger and I perform better. And it really gets in their head, and mentally they know, like, if I'm drinking this drink, I'm going to be stronger.
Yeah, that's super cool. And knowing that they see the entrepreneur and the owner of the business at the gym as well, sort of walking the walk and talking the talk. I bet that's really a great way to learn about your clients. And I bet you've had some aha moments by providing the B.I.L.T to some people that, you started talking to or chatted up, or people that come up to you. I'm sure you're wearing the B.I.L.T shirt in the gym and they're saying, hey, I've heard about this thing, how are you involved? And you say, oh, I'm the CEO. Let me give you a watermelon B.I.L.T and, try it. And I'm sure you're going to love it. That's super cool. So for entrepreneurs watching the show, that's a great learning opportunity, because it's great to be on the front lines. It's great to connect with the customers. It's great to actually get some interaction with them, so you can learn from your actual customers about what resonates for them, what turns them on, and what's making them happy. And Joey does a great job of that as well. Joey, let's talk about your passion for health. I mean, you love health. You talk about it all the time. You're brought into daises, and you get brought on to speak at events, and you talk about sort of the healthy lifestyle. B.I.L.T is part of that healthy lifestyle. How important is health in your mind with regard to what's happening in the world today? In other words, you're sort of helping people from the inside out. How important for an entrepreneur is to be healthy so that they can continue to build a great company and continue to sort of do great things at the company and take advantage of what health can bring, which is actually be around and make sure that your employees and your clients have a wonderful experience.
Right. I think health is probably the most neglected thing by most entrepreneurs, but because they don't realize, like, entrepreneurs are under a lot of stress. It's not just an easy 9-to-5 type thing. You're working 24/7, and every day you're putting out fires, and you're going to get punched in the face a couple of times. So now you have to learn to deal with that. So if you're not mentally healthy and mentally ready, you could be physically healthy, but you need to take care of your mental health too, to be ready for challenges and things going on, and be able to flip a switch. Like, I could be on a call at 1:00, putting out a fire of some disaster shipment that happened, and have to do an interview at 2:00 and have to switch that. So I think health is really important, not only for being an athlete, but for entrepreneurs too, because it helps you have a better mindset. You have better cognition, better making decisions. So overall, I think that's very important.
Yeah, I love it. And of course, if I read the reviews on Amazon, I mean, somebody wanted to give you 10 stars. They could only give you 5. Another person said phenomenal sports drink, must try product, made me feel energetic throughout my entire workout, helps a workout and tastes great. I mean, it just goes on and on. Let's specifically, though, talk to the entrepreneurs that are watching the show. Let's say they're not in the gym. They're, have a sport coat on. Maybe they're a little bit more leisure than I am right now. But let's talk about how something like B.I.L.T can help a regular guy or gal. They're not athletes. They're not in the gym. They don't need, the extra, supplementation that B.I.L.T provides. But how does it help an entrepreneur just get through the day and have a better day?
So B.I.L.T, even if you're not working out, the palatinose actually helps the cognitive function, and the electrolytes, especially magnesium. Most people are deficient in magnesium. So that alone will help an entrepreneur, even if they're just busy working on their desk and they feel dehydrated, because most people aren't drinking enough water anyway. Drinking a B.I.L.T will help you stay more hydrated than just drinking a glass of water. So that's one way it could help entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I love it. Of course, as you were speaking, I had a drink. I'm going to take one on camera right now because something's really interesting. First of all, unlike so many of the other sports drinks that are out there, no aftertaste. I mean, your mouth, it just tastes fantastic. And it tastes amazing. I mean, it's not filled up with all this garbage, fake sweetener and everything. I mean, it just tastes incredible. When you were building it, Joey, how important was it to make sure that you didn't have that terrible aftertaste that, you get in some other sport drinks, and that it tastes, palatable to the mouth?
Right. That's really important, because that was a big problem I had with sports drink on the market. Most other drinks that I was taking left a little chalky taste in your mouth, or it was just a little like metallic aftertaste from other drinks. I just didn't like that. So we played around with the sweetener and flavoring system for a good year. I even flew directly to Tate & Lyle, that is very big in sweeteners. And we work with them in their lab. They have an amazing facility up in Chicago. So we took a good amount of time to really get that there, because that's probably one of the most important things when you introduce a new brand, is to making sure it tastes good and people like it.
Yeah, I love that, Joey. Before I let you go, I want to get into entrepreneurship, but I have another question it's a little geeky of a question. Mm-hmm. Is there a taste tester? In other words, when we produce or have an entrepreneur on the show that's producing a liqueur or liquor or something else, another type of a drink, they have taste testers. Do you have a quality control with B.I.L.T where once in a while someone's going to taste it off the line to make sure it tastes right?
Yeah, we actually use an NSF manufacturing facility, and throughout the line, there's random tests that they pull and do QC tests for. And if it doesn't pass QC, they just dispose of that bottle. So not only is there QC tests in the production line before it gets filled, they check the pHs, the bricks, everything during the production. I actually go up to the facilities when they produce it and am hands-on with my COO, David Sandler. So we're watching everything, we're tasting everything. And then we see the QC reports too. And then we pull retains after that. And we also send it to third parties to test as well. So we can ensure the athletes that they know this drink's been tested, there's no banned substances, it is what it says in the labels, and it works. So I think that's an important step that a lot of drinks don't do. But that's like the extra step that we do to ensure to our customers that we're providing the best quality product.
Yeah, I love it. It's super cool. Of course, you're there. You were there from the beginning. You had an idea. You put it on the back of a napkin after doing some powders, and here you are. You're going to the facility. You're taste testing. B.I.L.T's going out all over the place. People are loving it. You're seeing it be consumed more and more with professional athletes, amateur athletes, people in the gym, mom and pops, and of course, old people like me. Now, Joey, before I let you go, let's talk entrepreneurship. For the younger entrepreneurs watching the show, maybe they're having a tough time. They're hearing this story of yours. They're like, wow, this guy's remarkable. B.I.L.T's incredible. Let's give back. For the younger entrepreneurs watching the show, what's it take to get through a tough time in business? What's it take to keep on pushing when the going gets tough as an entrepreneur?
I think the biggest thing is to never give up and to never quit. And if you're constantly moving in the direction, even if it's just 1% better a day, you're still moving in the right direction. Like during COVID, everything was closed down. The gyms got closed down. Nobody was paying. Everybody, it could be a disaster. But if I would have said, "Oh, that's it. We got to close up shop." No, we constantly kept on going. We were like, let's just wait. Let's just constantly keep pushing through. Let's work on formulations and more marketing. And most people, like when I think the difference between successful and unsuccessful people is the amount of persistence and perseverance they have, and they give up too easy. That's I really what I think. So like some people are built for it and some people aren't.
Wow, I love it. That's a great entrepreneurial explanation of how to keep on pushing. I mean, the flavor's great. There's few calories in the drink compared to so many others. I mean, sustainable energy, hydration while training. I mean, everybody's loving it. Joey, thanks so much for coming on the .com Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series, bringing us inside B.Y.L.T and telling us about what you're doing as an entrepreneur, giving back to the community as such a important part of the mission as well. So congratulations on everything you're doing. It's been a remarkable 30 minutes to have you on the show today.
Thanks for having me.